Welcome to Weekend Workout, a 20 to 30 minute Pilates and yoga inspired workout. This week we're going to be looking at moving the rectus abdominis from origin to insertion versus from insertion to origin. So if you're not familiar with what that means, the rectus abdominis is your most superficial abdominal muscle. It's the one that runs right up and down here, the one that gives you that 6-pack or 8-pack or whatever, but it originates down by your pubic bone and then it runs in that band all the way up and then inserts onto your ribs right here. That's where it attaches. Now we have two different ways to move. We can move origin to insertion, which means you bring your hips up toward your ribs, or we can move insertion to origin, and that's moving your ribs down toward your hips. When you think of things that you do in life, that you do in a day, you frequently are moving your upper body down toward your lower body more often than you are bringing your lower body toward your upper body. And so because of that, it really is important to work on strengthening the muscle, moving origin to insertion. If you have capabilities to move the muscle both ways, it's going to be a stronger muscle for you. But before we begin, let's have a quick little anatomy of our abdominals, because even if you're geared toward the rectus abdominis working, your other abdominals are working as well. Okay? So the very bottom abdominal muscle is called the transverse abdominis. I think of it as like a sausage casing, because it runs from your spine, connects to your pelvis and the bottom of your ribs, and it comes all the way around, and then it hooks onto the other side of your spine. Some people think of it like a corset. This muscle's primary job is to keep all of your organs inside your body cavity, okay? Next up, we have the internal and external obliques, and they're on top of the transverse abdominis. And if you draw a line where suspenders would go, that is where your obliques cross on your body. And then also we have that rectus abdominis, which runs straight up and down the center. So now that we've got our quick history, our quick anatomy of abdominals, let's get moving. Let's come onto our backs. Knees are going to be bent, heels are going to be in line with the sits bones. So the very first exercise we'll do is imprint. Oh, and I want to take a moment to say, there are exercises that we're going to do where I'm not going to be particularly specific. We're going for the workout today. If you want the details on how to 100% do those exercises correctly and find modifications for them, please check out my other YouTube videos, or you can go to my website, www.custompilatesandyoga.com. And I'm working on building a catalog there of going through all the different exercises and how to 100% do them correctly. Okay, so here we are for imprint, which is one of the exercises that I've cataloged. Arms are by the sides, shoulders are wide apart, collarbones are broad. Now I want you to think about when we go to do this tilt, we are moving the pubic bone toward the rib cage. So essentially, we're getting a little bit of that work for the rectus abdominis, moving origin to insertion. However, this is not a rectus abdominis exercise. This is the obliques. So you'll notice when you're doing this correctly, you're not going to feel work straight up the middle. You should feel your work out toward the sides. I feel it, a little bit up and in from my hip bones. Okay, inhale into the sides of the ribs. And let's take a moment with our hands to check to make sure that the ribs are shooting straight down toward the hips. And then exhale. Draw the low belly toward the spine. Inhale, return to neutral. And exhale. Good, 5 more on your own. back to neutral. Now we're going to work the opposite way. We're going to bring insertion to origin. So we've got a nice neutral pelvis. Arms are going to come by the sides. Nice long spine. Inhale. And exhale, lifting for ab prep. The bottom rib tucks in and you lift up. Inhale here. And exhale, lower. Now you can do your arms in different places. Bring them up above the chest. This one's my favorite. Inhale into the sides of the ribs. And exhale, tuck that bottom rib to bring you up. Now you'll notice my pelvis stays in neutral. I still keep that space at my low back. Inhale, exhale, lower. If you feel like your head's moving forward, place your hands behind your ears. Inhale. And exhale, lift. Inhale here. And exhale, lower. Good, we're going to do two more. Inhale and exhale, lift. Hold here. Inhale. And exhale, come deeper into it to come up. Inhale. And exhale, lower. Inhale, nice long line, energy out through the top of your head. Let the abdominals come toward the spine. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale. And exhale, lower. Very good. Arms come by the sides. We're going to do the 100 next. And maybe you guys have thought about this after the last exercise that we did, but whenever we're moving insertion to origin, that's going to be any Pilates exercise where you're lifting your upper body. Okay, so double leg stretch, single leg stretch, scissors, oblique work, any of those are going to have a component of that rectus abdominis insertion to oblique work. All right, so now for the 100. Inhale, lift one leg to tabletop. Exhale, lift the other leg. Zipper the inner thighs together. Inhale into the sides of the ribs. Exhale, bottom rib tucks in to lift you up. You can reach the legs if you'd like. Here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Inhale, bend the knees. Upper body lowers. Exhale, one foot comes down, and then the other. Very good. Take a moment. Stretch nice and long. Reach above your head. Reach out through your toes. All right. Go ahead, bend the knees. Now, if you have done the classic Pilates weekend workout that I did a few weeks ago, we did rollover, which is one of the classic Pilates moves. Now, that is not frequently an exercise that I do, and so I'm going to be doing the modification. I find that it's really challenging for women especially to roll over because we keep a lot of our weight down in our legs and hips. So picking the hips up off the floor can be quite a challenge. That being said, if you're a type A personality, you have that determination and that grit to make it happen, but if you don't have the muscle strength, then you're not really getting the benefit from it. So for that reason, we're going to stay with the prep today. Nice long spine. Inhale, lift one leg up to tabletop. Exhale, lift the other. Now your knees are going to go wide. Let's cross the right ankle in front of the left. And then let your low back relax. relax down to the mat, let the knees come toward you. I want you to think about if we were doing a rollover, you would tilt your pelvis, your hips would lift, and like a giant capital C, you would come up and over. Your legs would stay parallel over you. We wouldn't want you to scrunch or collapse. Okay, we'd want to have that big lift and C-shaped spine. So as we do this, I want you to work on finding the muscles to create that with your spine. Okay? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and we'll do 5. And then we'll switch legs. Good. Let's switch. Let's have the left leg in front. Inhale and exhale. Really think about what you're doing. Very good. Bend the knees, hug them in toward the chest, and you can rock side to side to massage your spine. Come to a still point, and let's reach the legs long. We're going to do a roll up. Well, let's not reach the legs long. Let's roll onto our sides to come on up. I really prefer to start sitting up for roll up. Roll up is a tough exercise also, and it can be very challenging to roll up, especially if you've lost your abdominal connection. So if you start from a seated position, it makes it a lot easier to come back up. All right, so feet are going to be flexed, legs are zippered together. Scoot any sort of tissue out of the way so that you feel your sits bones pressing down. And let's take a moment to lift nice and tall. Try to relax the hip flexors. If they're getting grippy on you, get in there with your thumbs. Give them a little massage. Inhale here. Exhale, tilt the pelvis to roll down. A nice long spine. Inhale, the arms hinge, and they come up. Head nod, exhale up. Coming up with that C-shaped spine. Inhale, going back. Exhale, down. Inhale, the arms reach, and they come up. Exhale. Inhale, going back. And exhale down. Now if you have been having issues getting up, inhale, the arms reach, they come by the side. Exhale, push with the hands and the elbows, roll you on up. Flexed forward. Inhale, rolling back. Exhale. Inhale, reach. And exhale. Very good. If you have scooped off your mat, scoot back on. And let's come onto our backs. So we're going to roll down. Inhale, exhale, tilt the pelvis. Rolling back. Arms come by your sides. Let's bend the knees. Now, working origin to insertion is very important, but it's also good for us to get balance from other muscles. So we're also going to do some twisting. We're going to do my favorite modification of obliques. So bring your right hand behind your right ear. Bring your left hand across your body to your right thigh. Let your abdominals relax while keeping your pelvis in neutral. Inhale here. Exhale, slide the fingers up the thigh as you rotate open. Inhale back and exhale. As you do this, imagine that your waist is a wash rag that you're wringing excess water from. Ground down through the feet. And let's switch sides. Left hand behind the head, right arm comes across. Inhale, exhale. And back to center. Let's bring our arms by the sides. Now, in Pilates hip rolls, we go into imprint and we roll up one vertebrae at a time. If you're used to yoga, this is going to be a different thing for you. Even some other types of Pilates don't particularly do hip rolls this way, but in Stott, this is how we do it. And it's a great opportunity to bring origin to insertion, which is why I've selected this. Inhale into the sides of the ribs. Exhale, go into imprint. Then let the glutes kick in to help you lift your hips as you roll up one vertebrae at a time. Keeping that curve. Inhale. And then exhale, reverse sequence. One vertebrae at a time, curling back to the mat and back to neutral. Inhale. And exhale. Imprint. Rolling up. Inhale. And exhale, coming down. You want to make sure, find energy through the feet. Find a connection between the inner thigh as you come up, or the inner thighs as you come up, to prevent your knees from opening to the side. And you should probably feel a lot of work on the back of your thighs and the hamstrings. We're going to do one more. Inhale and exhale. Very good. Back to neutral. All right. Now let's come onto our sides for a spinal rotation. And we'll do an exercise that is called spinal rotation from Stott Pilates. So you want to come right down on the edge of the shoulder. You want to have the knees in front of you. It should be very easy to have your rib cage and waist lifted if your shoulder's in the correct position. Stack the hands on top of each other. Inhale, the top hand lifts toward the ceiling. Exhale, the spine rotates open. I am too close to this wall. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, rotate the rib cage back to center. Exhale, close the hands. Inhale, the top arm lifts. Exhale, rotate the rib cage open. Look at your back hand. Hold and breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rotate the rib cage back to center. And exhale, the hands close. Let's switch sides. On your sides with your knees in front of your hips, make sure you're right on top of that shoulder. And if you'll notice, you can see my full shoulder blade as opposed to if I were in an incorrect position, my shoulder blade has just vanished. Inhale, the top arm lifts. Exhale, the spine rotates open. Looking at that back hand, one side is always going to be tighter than the other. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, rotate back to center, and exhale, close. Inhale, the top arm lifts, and exhale, rotate. Try to keep the knees glued together. Inhale, Exhale. Inhale, rotate back to center, and exhale, close. All right, we're going to come onto our stomachs. Now, we're going to do the yoga pose locust. If you have issues with your low back or with your tailbone, don't bring your legs all the way together. Leave them hip-width apart. But if you don't have those issues, bring the legs together, zipper the inner thighs. Remember, in something like 75 to 80% of people, there's a direct correlation between inner thigh work and abdominal work. Okay? So, even if your feet are apart because of your low back issues, I want you to still think about drawing your inner thighs toward each other. Find that activity. And the tip of the nose is down on the mat. The arms are by the sides with the palms facing the ceiling. And I want you to really lengthen through your spine and press down through your big toe toenails. So the big toe toenails press down. As you do this, your knees might lift up off the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, draw the low belly up, and lift. Now we're not lifting the feet, just the upper body. And exhale, lower. Take a moment, give yourself a break. Nice long line. Press down into the big toe toenails. Find that muscular energy in the legs. Lengthen through the spine. Inhale, lift the low belly, and let the chest come forward. And exhale, lower. Good. Let's take a moment and we're going to come into Sphinx pose. Okay, so we've still got our legs wherever they were. Big toe toenails are pressing down. Lengthen, long line, lift up, and then bring your elbows under your shoulders and spread your hands. Now you want to have an energy between your arms like you are drawing your arms toward each other. You want to have your legs parallel with the knees down toward the mat. You want to have the front of your pelvis and your pubic bone on the floor, but you are lifting and reaching through the rest of your spine to curve upward, to shine your heart toward the wall in front of you. Let's hold and breathe. And lower down. Good, bring your hands under your shoulders. We're going to press up and back into either shelf stretch or child's pose. If you do child's pose, your knees go wide, your big toes touch, sits bones reach behind you as you come forward, and you can really get a good stretch into your hips and into a little bit of the low back. Now for shelf stretch, legs are parallel. You can have them all the way together, some space between them. Again, you sit back from the sits bones, but as you round forward, it's going to be a stretch in the spine and the low back. So it's whatever you find that you need today, go ahead and pick that. Nice and easy, come on up. And we're going to have a seat. Come into a comfortable cross-legged position. You want to have your knees lower than your hips, so whatever that means for you. We're going to lift nice and tall, ground down through the sits bones. Bring an arm up, lift the ribs away from the hips, and we're going to bend straight to the side. Make sure that your shoulders are away from your ears. Make sure that your sits bones are both still evenly connected to the mat. Inhale to come up and exhale down, other side. Inhale, shoulders away from the ears, lift up and over, exhale. Inhale up and exhale down. Good. Let's reach the legs out in front of us. Lift nice and tall. Energy through the feet. Backs of the heels press down into the floor. Move any tissue out of the way, or you can internally rotate your legs however you'd like to do it. Nice and tall. Let's bend one knee. Bring the heel up close towards you. Keep this straight leg active. And we're going to hop the foot across. Lean back just a little bit to make some room for your body and rotate through. Back hand goes up on fingertips, front arm, the elbow comes against the thigh, or if that's not convenient for you, kind of loop your arm around it to pull that knee. We're working on reaching the opposite knee and shoulder toward each other. And come back to center. Slide that leg out, nice and lifted. Bend the other leg, and let's hop it across. Nice and lifted. Lean back a little bit to rotate open onto fingertips. Again, you can hug that leg toward you with your hand or wrist, or you can rotate through and use the back of your arm. And come back to center. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, you can find me over at my website, www.custompilatesandyoga.com. Thank you.